Of course, Epstein would have a stuffed tiger inside of his mansion. I mean, this is like typical supervillain behavior to have a giant stuffed tiger in your supervillain mansion. But Epstein actually had an affinity for stuffed animals and for preserving the dead bodies of animals. I don't know where he got this tiger from, where it came from, when it died, or whatnot. But I believe that this dog is Epstein's pet, or should I say former pet. Yes, this is a stuffed dog that was found inside of Epstein's Manhattan mansion. As you can see here, it was positioned right by the fireplace and it looks unbelievably lifelike. Like when I first saw this image, I thought that this was an image of an actual living dog, but then I realized that this was the taxidermied dog that I had seen written about in various news reports dealing with Epstein's mansion. Now, I want to say that this was one of Epstein's pets. I don't know. It's not the only stuffed animal that's found in Epstein's properties, and I can make a whole video about them if you guys would like me to. But, I mean, this is just so bizarre. A lot of people don't really get how bizarre of a person Epstein was, but I think little details like this really paint out a picture of who Epstein really was at his core. I mean, this was a guy that had taxidermied dead dogs and tigers strewn about the floors of his properties. This is a guy that had what looked to be children's hands and legs sticking out of walls inside of his home above the bathtub. This is a guy who had art depicting kids in a disturbingly sexual way hung up in a room that looks like a children's room. So, I don't know, I felt like this was worth talking about, but let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section and follow along for more updates. We still don't know exactly what all was found in Jeffrey Epstein's safe. So this is a photo from the investigation at Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan house. And as you can see, investigators drilled into his safe. What was inside was compelling. So to me, I believe these are binders of CD discs, because if you take a look up here, these aren't full page inserts that are in the binders. They honestly appear to be the size of CDs. You could probably have 2 CDs per page, front and back. And if you actually look here, you can see some loose CDs that were found in the safe. I mean, they look to be about the exact size of those sleeves, so I'm sure that these were full of data and other things. Now, also in the safe, there appear to be purses. This was like a coin purse. And then multiple passports. And up top, you can see cell phones right here. So I believe that these passports are claimed to have belonged to some of the women that were staying with Epstein. And I think that's what they're claiming the phones, were as well. These were some of the women that were with Epstein. But, I mean, that doesn't really make sense. They technically could just say anything. In my opinion, it would make more sense for these to be Epstein's passports, because we've seen in the past in documents released by the government that Epstein had multiple passports. We've even seen images of his multiple passports, so we know that they exist. And these are just photos that were taken of the safe. Obviously, Epstein's people were given an advance warning that the feds were closing in on him, so they could have removed anything incriminating, and they did in some of his properties. And I've never seen any information on the things that were found inside of these binders or on these discs. So there are still so many unanswered questions in the Epstein case. And the thing that just sucks, that gets me angry, is that evidence like this has been going missing for years. I mean, this was back in 2019. It's 2026. That was 7 years ago this year that all this stuff was going down. And investigators, FBI, whoever's in on this whole scheme, they've had 7 years up until this point to really go through everything, comb through everything, delete and shred and destroy any evidence that might paint a bigger picture when it comes to Epstein. But as you guys know, I'm going to keep on this story. Thank you for listening. And let me know your thoughts in the comments and follow along for more. Are these photographs from the tunnels beneath Epstein Island? We definitely need to talk about this. So these photos come from the account of a guy named John Magna. And I do want to state, John has actually been to Epstein Island. There's video footage of this. He, I believe, has broken on 3 times to explore the place, and he's been featured in national news outlets, so his story is legit. But recently, he made this post on his personal TikTok saying that this was his last post. He was out. Draw your own conclusions, and he essentially just posted these photographs. Now, I can't tell if these are AI or not, if these are fake or not. I can't tell you if they're real or not, but we can analyze them as if they were real. Like, for example, if this is real and this is true, then having a security camera in a tunnel underneath the island would be extremely nefarious and a detail completely ignored by the mainstream media and investigators. If this is real, once again, also, you have an owl here, a favorite of groups like the Bohemian Club, which is also very symbolic. And this owl would seem to be positioned at the opening or the entrance to the tunnel. And it looks almost like it's watching people as they enter and exit. You've also got this image of dirty white gloves, a pair of them on the floor. Whether this is in the tunnel, this is legit or not, I don't know. But there are a lot of nefarious reasons why these gloves could be there. There's also this image of a chain hanging from the ceiling. Could have been used for something somewhat innocuous, like, I don't know, some sort of construction, or I don't really know what this would be used for. But, as you know, could also have a darker reason for being there. You've also got what appears to be a computer sitting on a desk deep in an underground chamber. Once again, why this would be there is unknown. I mean, obviously, unless you wanted to do something like hide a secret blackmail hub underneath the island and the facilities, that is. There's also this random photo of what appear to be stairs that he included. I don't know if these are stairs that lead down to the tunnel system or what, but they clearly are relevant to the images that are being shown. And also, John shared this image of what appears to be a desk or multiple desks covered with old books and documents that look like they've been there for a very, very long time. Now, is this real? I don't know. Are these images legitimate photographs? I can't definitively say yes or no. I can say that John definitely has been to the island multiple times and he has footage and everything to prove it. Oh yeah, and last thing I'll say, they also seem to have found this on the floor in one of the rooms under the island. I tried to do a reverse image lookup of this symbol and what it might mean. I couldn't find anything. But if you guys have any ideas, please let me know. And regardless, I'm going to keep y'all updated, but we haven't heard from John since he posted this on Valentine's Day. So one of the strangest things about Epstein's New York mansion is this right here. So as you can see, this appears to be an outdoor table and umbrella with outdoor chairs set up inside. This, to me, makes absolutely no sense, and it is incredibly strange. So, yeah, I mean, I get having chairs in your house, and I get setting them up around a table. I mean, that's a pretty fairly typical thing to do. But it's the fact that there's an entire umbrella set up in the room, and that this is an outdoor furniture set that makes this so strange to me. I mean, I don't think that I have ever in my life seen something like this. And it is just, I mean, it's the complete opposite function of what these things were basically constructed for. This is outdoor furniture, an outdoor umbrella. You don't need an umbrella inside. And yet Epstein has placed all of it on the interior of the home. And interestingly, it doesn't even really look like there are windows or anything that would be bringing a lot of sunlight into this room. I mean, I believe this is a window maybe right here. But these appear to just be solid walls. I mean, there's a painting hanging up there. And right here, I think this is the entrance and exit to this room. So, I mean, this really looks like a room where you just come in and it's just this set up. So, yeah, I haven't seen anybody really mentioning this, but I found this to be one of the strangest things in the files. I mean, it's just so, I don't know, it bugs me for some reason because it's so clearly not what it's meant to be doing. And yet, I have this feeling that it was set up like this or that this was there for a very specific reason. I don't know the reason. I don't know why this would be set up like this or why this would be here. But with Epstein and Epstein's properties, every single thing, every detail had a purpose and it was placed there for a reason. So they do all tell a story, and this room and these decorations and these chairs and this umbrella, they tell a story. Now, what that story is exactly, I don't know, but that's obviously what we're all trying to figure out. Why don't you let me know your thoughts in the comment section? I'm very eager to hear what you guys think about this one. This appears to be yet another image of Donald Trump in the Epstein files, and I haven't seen many people talking about it. So you can see the EFTA number here. This photograph comes from the recent DOJ drop, and it comes from the raid on Epstein's Manhattan mansion. So this was inside of Epstein's New York townhouse. And this is like the superstar desk. I mean, top left, you've got Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell with the Pope. Here you've got Jeffrey Epstein and MBS. Here you have got Bill Clinton, who's with Epstein in the full photo. And this is a picture of Epstein with Prince Andrew and Ghislaine, which I've seen and talked about many times before. But if you look down in the drawer, you will see a familiar face, actually a few familiar faces. So up top, you see Trump and Melania. That is the infamous photo of Trump, Melania, Epstein, and Ghislaine. But then right below it, you can see Trump with 4 women in, 2 of them are in bikinis, one's in regular, what looks to be show clothing. But yeah, Trump surrounded with women, and you can see the photo's actually even been cut. There's a triangle almost cut out of it. Now, I believe that when this was initially released, this was censored out. So the DOJ was trying to block out the release of these photos, and they eventually released the unredacted image and showed people what was lying behind that black square. But I don't know who these women are. I believe this obviously has to be at a beauty pageant, probably one of the pageants that Trump owned. But right now, that's all just speculation because I haven't really seen anybody talking about this image. And it's just another reason why Trump and his cronies would want to hide these files and hide the truth behind exactly what happened with Epstein and his group of ghouls. But as always, let me know your thoughts on this picture and this find, and I will be back soon with another update.